of dehydration around her skin. Again, not to get sidetracked or on a tangent, we know that there's different kinds of dehydration. If you don't know, now you know, right? So the kind of dehydration, it can have something to do with maybe she's not drinking enough water, or very possibly we're in seasonal transition. If her skin is oil dehydrated, you know, her regimen needs to have something a little bit more occlusive, maybe more emollient. Regardless, we want to keep a track. We're going to be working to rehydrate her skin. She has some concern of some uneven pigmentation, melasma around her cheeks. So we're going to be working to even out the pigment, brightening. We're going to work on her skin texture. So there's a little bit of unevenness. So you can just, it's okay if I open this up, and then I'll put a towel. Okay, so you guys can kind of hone in a little bit more on that. And then of course you're gonna see just in general her skin overall just transforming with every step. So I'm going to do the demo just on her face, okay? But any treatment you're doing, you always want to work down to the décolleté. And some spas, but they do it as like a add-on booster. You can incorporate the hands as well.
Normally the box is $125, but it's on sale for $600. That comes with the workshop. So our workshop is kit and certifications for $75. And that's you can buy it individually.
So I don't know about you.
It would cost more.
This is gonna be our express treatment, but like vicariously immerse and pretend like this is you. That's what I do. Okay, and everybody has a treatment protocol, right? How are we on time? Is there another class after me? Just so I kind of know.
2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock. And what time
No, 2 o'clock
is the next one? And what time is it right now?
1.
So you have flexibility.
Okay, good. It's a 30-minute treatment. I'll tell you, it's a 30-minute treatment. But please beware, I'm not a good multitasker, so I get excited and then I get sidetracked. And then I start talking, and then we go on a tangent, and then our 30-minute treatment, which is why having that 30-minute hourglass was really beautiful. I kept an eye on it, and I was like, chop, chop. But so if in case you see that like some things are just, I just get very, very excited. But usually when you're in the treatment room, you just move through the steps, unless you intentionally want it to be a longer treatment. Okay. So first step, and we're gonna follow along. Everybody has one, right? Okay, so like I said, every single step of the treatment serves a purpose to also enhance, to enhance the results and efficacy of the next steps. I remember when I was, this was a long time ago, but when I was, is anybody New Jersey licensed? Okay, so I'm New York, New Jersey licensed. When in New Jersey, the state board exam, it was in a lunch cafeteria, okay, with our models sitting in chairs like this, and we had to bring hot water in thermoses. And I didn't know, like I brought the hottest water in thermoses and I put it in my bowl. My mom was my model when I was going for state board. So first of all, my gloves started ripping. Thank God I had extra gloves. And then when I finally when I was finally, I don't even know what I needed the water for, probably maybe towel. And I take the towel, I remember we have to show them that it's hot or something, that we're checking the towel. And it was scalding hot, and my mom wanted to tell her, I told her beforehand, don't you dare move, I'm gonna feel like that. And she saw me pouring this boiling hot water on my hands, and I was like, so every time if I touch water that's hot, it brings me back to that day. Okay, so first we're gonna moisten our skin. So I'm just gonna bring you back a little bit.
Perfect spot to rest my head.
Nice
The
and
baby
quick.
doesn't kick me.
That's what I was thinking the other day. I was like, you know, if I'm doing the demo in class and somebody gets kicked in the head, sorry. It's kind of snug in there already.
Get tacky first, don't do it too quickly. It's the opposite from lash extensions. Lash extensions you want to be quick. This one you want to let it dry a little.
Okay, so the first step is the black currant creamy cleanser. That gives the skin the first dose of the resveratrol, but we always want to do a double cleanse. So the first cleanse is just going to be very quick to actually cleanse your skin, and then the second cleanse will be to actually infuse the actives that are inside the cleanser. Besides the resveratrol, the black currant, there's also shiitake mushrooms in there, which has its astringent properties and some brightening properties. And any of the aromas, any of the coloring in any of the products, it is from the actual extracts and actives. There's no artificial coloring, there's no artificial fragrance in anything. And we are animal cruelty certified free, and most of the formulas are gluten-free and vegan, they're paraben-free. And the formulas, it's I mentioned at the beginning, they're clinical formulas because it's a balance of science, advanced research, but also that natural and organic component, incorporating traditional remedies.
So step 3 is a nourishing lotion.
It's so odd not being able to see the face you're working on. From one side, I mean, we as professionals, we know sometimes we can see better with our hands than with our eyes, but from another side, it's still very gratifying to be able to see what you're doing.
Yes, this is where you would tint. You would tint and remove the same way as it is in the solution, rolling it off, and then you would use
I do get a lot of questions as far as the massage technique. There is a video. We just haven't put it up yet in our training portal. So that will be up there as well.
Is it okay to use steam?
You don't need it with this treatment. Do you mean like if you have a client who just loves this steam? You
Yeah.
can. You
Okay.
can. But you don't need to.
It's to dissolve the glue, and it's also a conditioner. It's not a
Well,
leave-in.
no, SP back.
Think of it like a hair strip that you put in your hair to make it smooth and shiny. Always working your way up away from the eye, never down, always facing up. You don't want to push the product into their eye.
Oh, I forgot to mention, with the package purchase, you get a training certificate. That's first of all, and also you can pick up at the booth. We're in booth 250. You get a gift, a really, really nice Pomodoro dual action mask. You get a little mask with, as a gift for attending the class. So that's again, booth 250. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I should mention that. What are we here for, by the way?
So, as I go in, see how it's lifting it up and working it. So I put a lot of extra glue right here.
It's okay, your neck is comfy?
Yeah, I'm about to fall asleep.
You
Gentle.
can relax. Okay, so this is our second dose, and you can see again, per cleansing, I'm using about a nickel size amount. For the whole face, and this second cleanse, it's to actually infuse the actives that are in the cleanser.
There's two separate cleansers?
The same exact one, just double cleanse. I think on the protocol it says twice.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There is, by the way, another version of this protocol. The other version of the protocol incorporates the CIT, college induction therapy, rolling into the protocol, which makes it a little bit more intensive. So if that's something that you're interested in, just send us an email. And by the way, it is so important for us to be able to support you and guide you. So if you have any questions, you can always email us at natpre@naturepure.com. There's also a chat option on the website. You can call us. So we really want you to feel like you have full support, especially if you're just starting out with Nature Pure, because it's a learning process. There's over 100 different formulas, and a lot of the formulas are targeted for similar skin types, so that if your client has been on a regimen or treatment for a while, they don't have to get used to it. You have options to choose from, right inside Nature Pure. All we need is spa music, right? And that's it. We can all have a meditation session here. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna remove the cleanser. And then we're gonna begin to break down the cellular glue with the action. It's very cool, actually. I'll go into it in 1 second, but we're gonna exfoliate, regenerate, and infuse new hydrators into the skin. I'm just gonna lean you back.
I think the baby is sleeping.
Nobody's kicking you?
We know when I fall off the chair.
Okay, for the next step, the skin needs to be completely dry. The Dead Sea Salt Crystal Peel. It's a really, really unique formula. So what begins to happen? So I'm just gonna pat dry her skin. The Dead Sea Salt crystals are going to attach themselves to the surface dead skin cells, plus with the combined action of the papain, the papaya enzymes, it's going to attach itself to the dead skin cells, and then you're literally going to see the dead skin cells rolling off. And while we're exfoliating at the same time, it's still reinfusing hyaluronic acid and their green tea polyphenols into the skin, so you're getting this kind of dual action. And in the starter kit, you get the standard size, but once you're doing the treatment more, it is available in the pound size as well. And that's a step in a lot of our other in a lot of the other protocols as well. So it's even part of our stretch mark repair protocol for the body. So any questions? So the reason that the skin has to be completely dry is because otherwise the crystals can't attach and adhere to the surface corneocytes. Okay. Okay, so it comes out like a liquidy-ish gel. I would say about like a nickel size amount for the whole face. And we're gonna first spread it and give the client a heads up. The aroma is a little bit strong, especially if you get close to the nose, but you're going to feel your dead skin cells rolling off.
How after we use the products, how good are they? Like, what's their lifespan?
What is their lifespan? So we officially always put like 12 months, but all of our stability testing shows up to 36 months. So we use the mildest of preservatives, but enough so that you can maintain a shelf life as long as the product. So on our newer packaging, we started putting the little mark that if the product is unopened, it's good for 12 to 18 months. Yeah, we don't want our products going moldy. We want them to be a balance of, you know, everything without worrying about it compromising. So you see it's starting to adhere.
Really good quality and also very concentrated, so you don't need a whole lot to make it go a long way.
This is also a very visual product. So if you are looking to incorporate things into your social media of like behind the scenes treatment room action, this one is very, very visual.
You've never used the tape underneath. What happens if you're trying to?
And I mean, it's hard for me to see, I just know, but watch with every single step, her skin is gonna be getting brighter and smoother. In every single formula, every ingredient serves a certain function. It's in a concentration where it can actually make a difference on the skin, not just look nice on the label.
And I've had people that have said when I was going to use it, I've explained it, oh, I can't, I have really sensitive skin. I said, let me try it, because you know it's gonna go. And their skin looks amazing after the treatment.
So it's not too rough on the skin?
Absolutely not.
So what's interesting also with Lynn was saying that her clients, they say it has the aroma is strong. And there is alcohol in there, but the alcohol isn't working on the skin. The alcohol helps activate the action of the other ingredients, which is interesting. Like salicylic acid is another kind of ingredient. In a formula, sometimes you're like, this is a wrinkled product. Why is there salicylic acid in there? For example, diopene, but actually it has nothing to do with treating like acneic skin as you would in a salicylic acid focused product. It actually works as a delivery system ingredient because salicylic acid can penetrate the cell. Only oil soluble or hydrophobic ingredients can actually penetrate on a cellular level, which is, you know, very interesting. But with this particular peel, this is actually the recommended peel for sensitive skin, rosacea, because there's no granules in there at all. And it's not a chemical peel also, and it's not fully an enzyme peel. It does have some enzymes, so it's like this sweet spot in between. But because the aroma is a little strong, sometimes it can be misleading that it's more aggressive than it actually is. But it's one of our more gentler.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I smell apples. And I looked and it said malic acid.
There is malic acid in there also. There's some papain in there as well. You know, it's so individual, and some clients are like, oh, I love this smell, and then I have clients, I'm like, it's just a second, you'll be fine. Also, I want you to notice that it's also at the same time having this kind of degreasing effect. So by the time you're done with it, it should look like you came out of the Dead Sea and your skin dried, and it has this kind of like bone dry appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is why I almost forgot to mention that. That's what you want. By the time nothing else is rolling off, the skin should look bone dry. And I know that on the protocol, I think it says to remove it with moist towels, right? Mm-hmm. So since I originally designed the protocol, I did find that I actually Like the fact that it's activated a little bit faster the next step. So you can remove it if you want, or you can just do exactly what I'm gonna do. And you'll, once you start tapping into some of the other protocols, you'll see that it actually works to prep for the peel with that kind of degreasing, first of all, degreasing action, and second of all, we kind of took that first layer off, so now we can go a little bit deeper. But very, very, very dry. It's supposed to be.
I like the fact that it doesn't look so messy. Some exfoliants are so messy to work with.
Right.
It's like an umbrella, right? So,
Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, perfect. So our next step, and that's why I want to mention that there are a few discrepancies on the protocol. The way it is now, it's perfect, but just a few things over the years that I was like, this just gives it that additional little boost so you can have access to it also. So we're not gonna cleanse, we're not gonna wipe, we're gonna go straight into the next step. But I just realized I don't have my bowl. Seconds. So we need a little glass bowl for our peel, and you can apply the peel. So in this particular treatment, I like to use a firm synthetic brush, but you can use Q-tips, or you can use the gauze effect. When we're doing like a full peel, I generally teach to use gauze, so you can actually squeeze it out and you have full control. But in this particular treatment, I do like to use the brush. Okay. So we're gonna use, this is the Alpro stem cell peel. This is in a few different protocols. This is a 40% glycolic peel, but it's not like your traditional peel. There's lots of anti-inflammatory actives in there, besides for the St. John's wort, the licorice root, the arginine. So you have a lot of brightening, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant ingredients, and then you're taking advantage of the peeling action. So by playing with the pH, we're allowing for immediate epidermal delivery also of the alpine rose stem cells that are in the peel. So I would say about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So 3, it's like 1.5 pipettefuls because they weren't full. I'm gonna start from her forehead just because that's the closest part to me, but you want to make sure. So I like to use a firm synthetic brush because I also like to go close to the eyes. Okay, as whatever level you are on in. So it's gonna be a little tingle, little probably itchy, but we say tingle. A little itchy. And we're gonna keep that on for 5 minutes.
Even on really sensitive skin?
How sensitive? Because remember we mentioned in the beginning, if the client is hypersensitive, it might be a little bit too stimulating.
It does dissipate though. When they start, I'll always ask, and they'll say, "Oh, it's getting better." On a scale of 1 to 10, and they'll say 7 or 8, and then they say, "Oh, it's a 4 now," and so it does come down.
You could use like a little face fan. So like how you know.
So for people who have sensitive skin, do you still leave it on for 5 minutes?
3 to 5 minutes. So if somebody is not hypersensitive but a little bit more on the sensitive side, you leave it on between 3 to 5 minutes. But also, as Lynn did say, at first it might feel a little bit more intense and then it kind of eases up.
I love the results. The results are
And this is giving that dose of the
the whole product line.
stem cells.
So how many layers?
One layer.
Just one, okay.
Just one layer for this particular protocol. This peel is part of other protocols as well. It's part of the skin brightening botanical chemical peel procedure. You use it differently in that one, and there you would prep and neutralize and layer.
Yeah, you get a certificate, and they're like, have fun, we'll never talk to you again.
So I've been using hydroquinone
Mm-hmm.
daily.
Yes.
It still be okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We actually have our skin lightening serum is a beautiful hydroquinone clinical formula with kojic acid. But yeah,
My skin is gonna dry.
the dehydration. Are you balancing it with something? Because our clients who do use the skin lightening serum with hydroquinone, if they're on the drier side, we would recommend maybe like a HIPAA hydration balm. That's actually one of the steps. And move your neck also, because I see that we have. And in the treatment room again, we do go all the way down to the décolleté. Usually in class demo, I don't even go past the neck, but I do see that her neck needs a little bit of loving. So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's why I chose for seat. So
You knew.
notice me.
She said it in front. Mhm.
So it is 3 hours in the classroom.
So I have my 5-minute hourglass. She's already has it on for a few minutes, so maybe we'll keep it for like half the time. And normally, I would, maybe work the scalp, the points in the back, the shoulders.
So, go ahead and ask you.
For visual effects, will cool her up. But usually if you're like massaging their shoulders or their upper back, they're not as bothered because as Lynn said, it can't even speak properly. Dissipates. I can't speak properly. That's okay. Any questions?
How much shedding is she probably gonna have?
How much shedding? That's a very good question. So with this particular protocol, she's not gonna have any shedding. Her skin might feel a little bit tight, but we also finish the treatment with a few different things that create this very kind of protective, super hydrating, occlusive barrier as well, which I'll talk about once we're up to that step. So even if it's still regenerating, it's still resurfacing, you don't see it. It becomes invisible and you just have that beautiful glow. And then plus, depending on if the client came in for morning or evening, you do recommend their home care, so that kind of also further helps enhance everything. How are you doing? It's not as itchy now, right? Not as tingly.
No.
This
Down
is
to one.
Down to one.
You can use these products for other patients, so you're not.
Yeah, so you have so many protocols and resources available to you, but you also have full ability to customize. So like we have a protocol which is not pure signature facial, where step 1 tells you like 6 different options. Step 2 gives you 3 different options, so then you can customize your protocol. This particular, the Dead Sea Salt Crystal Peel, it's part of our Flawless Glow protocol. It's part of our dermaplaning protocol. It's part of our stretch mark repair protocol. The Alprose stem cell peel, that's part of our age reversing menopausal treatment protocol. It's part of our skin brightening designer botanical peel protocol. A bunch of other protocols. So there's a lot of crossovers as well. Okay, so I'm gonna start to prepare. We're gonna remove the peel with a cold towel. This is disposable. Yeah, they're very convenient for classes. I did find that, I kind of was experimenting with it, and I'm just gonna lean you back. In the treatment room, I found that it wasn't keeping heat, depending on what you're doing. But if you need it just for like product removal, very, very convenient. But I know you don't want to get kicked in the head, so.
Do you sell this?
I don't. I got these from Spa Remedy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spa remedy.
Remedy. I don't know if they're at the show, but they might be.
Disposable.
They're disposable towels.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see them halfway out.
Yeah, if they ask, they don't even know
Yeah.
that I love their product. You could tell them Victoria from Nature Pure loves their product.
There's
But-
random. There's a random out there they have it, but it's not. It's a little bumpy.
the other town. They're the only company that I found, which I discovered them because I was doing, so many classes at one point at different events, that I was like, this is crazy. I'm like ending every day with so much laundry. So I found that this was convenient. But I did try to experiment with this in the treatment room, and I found that in the treatment room, I liked the traditional cotton towels.
Better.
Because if you need a cold towel, this is great. But when I needed like a warm towel, especially now, especially like post-COVID, steaming became not as common. I still love steaming. I look at it, but I started doing a little bit more like skin prep with steam towels. Like this wouldn't work. You need towels that can keep heat. So there's pros and cons, but especially for just removal, this is very convenient.
Have you used it on men with beards? Because that's like the hardest to take off the products on their beards.
Yes, but when you're working with male clients with removing the product, what sometimes might be just a really good approach is that, for example, I know with the detoxifying mud mask, which is that's one. It's in a few different protocols, but if there was hair, the mask would get stuck. So I found that it was just very effective to first massage with like wet hands to loosen the product, and then remove it. Yeah. Do you feel a tingle anywhere still? Did I miss
Still,
anywhere by
yeah.
the eyes?
No, it's all on my forehead. But it's a good. It's a tingle.
Here, let me come around because I really can't see what I'm doing. And you can see what's really nice is that we gave the skin a nice microcirculation boost. So this is like the fire part of the facial.
Her face looks more hydrated now.
More hydrated and smoother and glowy and just brighter. And then also remember the fire nice part of it. So this is the fire part, right? It felt a little fiery and warm with the boost of the microcirculation. Okay, and then we're gonna lead right into the ice part of it, which is the energizing Cinnamon Ginger Mint Mask. Super, super stimulating, and it's a combination. At first, it feels like extremely. How much time? Speed up. I know. You see, I told you, like, don't talk to me, guys. I'm just kidding. 5 minutes? Oh boy. Okay. By the way, if in case I forget, we're in booth 250. So we're gonna move really, really quick through it. So what should have taken, I think, like 7 minutes altogether, I think took us a half hour. I warned you guys, I'm a horrible multitasker. So the Energizing Cinnamon Ginger Mint Mask, it's amazing, brightening. Literally, we're doing like a comedy skit. You can't make this up. But it would have been funnier if I didn't see that it just fell, and I'm looking for it in my hand. So, the Energizing Cinnamon Ginger Mint Mask, there's bentonite in there, peppermint, cinnamon, It's gonna feel ginger, obviously. The little beets are jojoba and maracuya, so passion fruit. I'm gonna lean you back. Do I really have 5 minutes?
I think there's another 2.
At 2.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it'll take me 5 minutes. So we're okay, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Otherwise, I might stress out here. My water might break. That's not funny, by the way. That's not funny. I said it, and I'm like, oh gosh, that's really
We'll
not
clean
funny.
up
I have
for you.
another day of classes tomorrow.
We'll clean up for you.
All right, Rose, I'll see you there.
So on the protocol, I believe this step is 5 minutes.
Yes, it's 5 minutes.
It probably feels like icy and like intense right now.
Right.
And then that intensity eases.
Like pepper.
That's the ice part? That's the icy part? Like
That's the icy
fire
part.
wise,
That's exactly it.
fire was
The fire was the peel,
and this is the ice.
and then the icy is this step. So it's like, but remember, originally the facial was called 30 Minutes in Heaven. And then the client was like, that's like fire and ice. She's like, the results are heavenly, but she's like, it's more like a fire and ice. And there's licorice root in here as well, so you're getting brightening, texture, evening. Literally, this one step does a lot of the work as well. So you can massage this step in, you can infuse. I'll show you guys how I do this step with the My Skin Buddies. And then given that her concern specifically was also the melasma, I'll show you on the green light setting, because that's the one that's recommended for sensitivity or pigmentation. So I already have my rollers, not my rollers, my Skin Buddy sterilized with the UV light in here. There's a 5-minute timer, and I use 2 only because instead of it being a 5-minute massage, it comes out to being like 10 minutes, even though you're still doing the 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do the green light, which is for the pigmentation and the sensitivity, but there is 6 functions in here. The first one would be a thermal if you wanted to enhance your cleansing and help further emulsify any congestion in the pores. The second setting is the blue light for acne, helps kill P. acnes, and all of the settings, the ionic plate helps deepen ingredient penetration, so it enhances the efficacy. And usually post-treatment, you get the initial results, and then the day after, you get a little bit more results, because every single product has its own very advanced delivery system, and then it starts to kind of dwindle down. But I was actually reading this morning, one of our spa partners said that when they do incorporate the My Skin Buddies in the session, it does hold the results a little bit longer post-session as well. Then the green light we already said for sensitivity, pigmentation. Also, if you're not getting any more slide, you don't have to keep massaging. So I'll just hold it in places with the concern. If you do want to get more slip, you can add a little bit of water to it. But I just like to do in very specific localized areas, especially like I know she has the pigmentation concern, her melasma area and her cheeks. Then the red light helps stimulate collagen production, and then you have just the ionic plate action where, say you just wanted the microcirculation boosting massage and the deepening of the ingredient penetration. And if you were retailing them, it's a very nice profit margin. You retail it at $349, and it includes a $41 gift of Petite Luminous Glow CBD face oil. And your price is $175, so it's a very nice margin on that. So at home, at home, they can incorporate it when so they apply the stem cell eye complex, then they apply the blackcurrant C serum, then they can do the My Skin Buddy, and then revitalizing fruit complex would be either their nighttime or during the day before they apply their Soy Doctor Ultralight Moisture Screen SPF 30. So the basic recommended home care, not going into the cleanser and toner, is those 4 products, which we mentioned. Their retail price at regular price is $300, but it's nice to give them a promotion on it if they're especially buying it with booking a series or something like that. And then your profit on each home care is $91. So you can generally see, by the way, you can see online, so I'm not gonna do the full massage session, but we have a video where you can see how I fully incorporate in the session, which areas. I go down to the décolleté, I hold it here, then I do the neck. So that's the general gist. So I'm gonna to turn it off, I just press down and hold the button, but normally after 5 minutes, it would just turn off by itself. And then we're gonna remove it. So I normally, I wipe it with the sterilizing solution, I put it away, and then I put it in here, turn it on, and let it sterilize for 3 minutes. Which is nice, because that one I use for other things as well, but I wanna make sure that we can get through the rest of the treatment, so I'm gonna pick up the pace. So you guys can have that live before and after visual. If you can just lean back a little bit. Beautiful. And that icy feeling, it felt very, very intense at first, right? Like it almost felt like an ice burn. And then it really, really eases it. So we're really playing,
really nice.
It has that shock effect. We're playing with the circulation and really giving the skin cells that nice shock, that the skin cells and the skin a nice shock effect. And you can see, I mean, looking from up top, but you can see her skin. I think I kept the mask on instead of 5 minutes, it was what, like 3 minutes on? Very, very quick, but even 3 minutes, every single step is hard at work. You can see her complexion looks so much brighter.
Healthy glow.
It looks healthy.
And the texture is very, very smooth also, like baby soft.
Perfect, that's exactly what I needed. Thank you.
And then what's also very important to remember is that with the darker spots, things like melasma, it's not an overnight sensation, but you're getting a lot of action of the tyrosine inhibiting, activity from the resveratrol, the licorice root. So even though there is that instant brighter glow, but it also it's a cumulative treatment, so you continue every time you do the treatment. You get more and more results, and the results last longer and longer. And plus, when you also have them on the proper home care, it just everything works together, because it's not like we get to have a facial every day, you know.
Do you say once a week or every 2 to 3 weeks?
If your client is like, I have something coming up, you can have them come in for series weekly. Otherwise, every 2 to 3 weeks is fair. Because even my clients who do come in, who were coming in weekly, it was usually weekly for a time frame, and then it starts to be, usually once every 3 weeks is like the sweet spot that allows for everything to enhance home care and in treatment. But some clients you probably have that are like once every month and a half, so you just put them on a realistic schedule for them.
And how many can they do if they can do it once a week?
If they do it once a week, so they would do 1 session a week, then they continue their home care daily. Is that your question?
No,
Like for how long?
For how many times?
For how long? So you can do a session of 3. You can do a series of 6 where I showed during the
For
PowerPoint
6
that.
weeks straight, you can do it.
So for 6 weeks straight, right?
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
And I'm just making sure any of the granules are fully off. And then you'll see on the protocol, if say you were gonna do the mask longer, it says an optional step is that you can massage like the arms, the décolleté, so the Soy Beauty anti-aging hand and body complex is really, really beautiful for that. Okay. And then the cucumber mint moisturizing mist, we just spritz that on. So that's not part of like the home care basics, but a lot of clients like to purchase it. So, you know, that's something you might want to, and this is really good. Also enhancing microcirculation. The cucumber is just really, really soothing. You can see, you know, ginseng also stimulating. Gotu kola is another ingredient I love for promoting collagen production. So on the protocol, the next one is the stem cell eye complex. And that's giving the apple stem cell dose. You're also getting some acai berry in there, also resveratrol. There's a dose of our patented ingredient technology in there. That's a whole other class, guys. Like that's like a 2-hour class. So we're not gonna get into that, but again, there's lots and lots of education and resources for you as a Nature Pure member and partner. And on the blog, naturepure.com. By the way, if you're not following, Nature Pure Labs, that's our handle. My handle is my handle is Victoria Tabak. Always include the upper eyelids. I'm hurrying. Dawn is happy here though. Then our serum. A few words on it. A few words don't give it justice, but the black currency serum, you're getting a nice high dose of the resveratrol. The little white globules, it is 3 different types of stable vitamin C. This is so important because most vitamin C, when you're seeing it's not stable vitamin C. It doesn't work the same way. This is stable vitamin C. It means non-oxidized, so your skin's actually getting that high concentration of the vitamin C, so it helps promote collagen. It's great for brightening. There's some glycolic acid in there. Oh, the next class starts at 2, so I'm taking my sweet time. I didn't realize that, like, the presenter. Are you the presenter? Okay, so the presenter's not here yet.
No,
Okay,
they're
so.
behind the door.
Oh my gosh, so I'm really rude. Okay, guys, sorry. Just blame it on the pregnancy brain, sorry.
And my problem skin.
So you'll see on the protocol, if you wanted to incorporate other modalities, it's step 8. The revitalizing fruit complex, that is the next one. That is the 3rd product, part of the recommended home care. This has 5 different fruit complex. It's peptides for lifting in there. I'm so sorry, by the way, totally lost track of time. We're finishing up. This is for resurfacing, regenerating, brightening, lifting, firming. It helps registrol in there. It helps break up if there's compacted collagen, which what compacted collagen can be like scar tissue or anything like that. So very multifunctional.
It's like, where do you break?
By the way, as I wrap up, I am gonna take a picture, but booth 250, okay, and you can take advantage of all of the show specials in there. And then the final step, which you'll see on the protocol, the HIPAA Hydration Balm. It's also an award winner. It's a completely anhydrous formula, meaning there's not a drop of water in there. There's the HIPAA berry in there, MU oil. It works as a delivery system, so everything underneath it helps push deeper into the epidermis, beeswax, thyme, cinnamon, rosemary. So lots and lots of stuff. You can see completely anhydrous. You take literally a pea size to a mommy size amount. You melt it into your fingertips. This is also post-care for anybody who's doing a peel series. for anybody who's doing laser resurfacing, for anything. It creates an occlusive barrier. It's super, super nourishing, hydrating, and at the same time, it helps promote healing of the skin.
That looks really pretty.
Glowing, girl.
Glowing.
Yeah, super glow.
How many treatments do you get out of this?
So with one kit, you're able to do a minimum of 50 treatment sessions.
50?
Yeah, minimum. Even more with like the energizer.